Well, today's the day I started on that GXP rear differential, so this is what we've got to work with. I've looked up on YouTube and didn't see any videos on changing out a rear differential, so I'll make one. This car came with a extra used rear differential, and so that's what we're going to use. It looks like there's quite a bit of stuff that's going to have to be removed. Drop the exhaust, it looks like. Take that pan out here. The drive shaft on both that, axles, and obviously the mounting points. And I'm hoping once I drop this rear diff, I can just slide it off the drive shaft. But when I get the pan off and go to digging into there, things will change, I'm sure, with what I want to do. But this is where we're at, so it's a process. I'm not going to rush through it, just little by little. The biggest hurdle personally was these jacks, which I think this jack point here, I need to readjust it now that I'm looking at it. But these cars are notorious, if you don't jack them correctly, of damaging. So pretty nervous with that. But yeah, we'll start by taking the wheels off. But before that, let me fix that jack point there. Excuse the wind, but it's windy today and I don't have a microphone. I'm using just the microphone on my phone. But what I'm going to attempt to do, and this is the worst part about this job personally, is taking all this crap off to get that axle. So what I'm going to try to do is just do this side and then attempt to leave the other side intact and pull this rear differential out without having to take both axles out. What the heck, might as well at least try it. So I'm going to take all this off, lower the exhaust, get the pan out of the way, and then we'll just see what we have after that. So should be fun, right? Okay, a little bit of an update here. I've got the upper control arm took that loose. I took the rear looks like a tie rod in, but I took it loose there instead of there. And I've got all this to where it's swayed out, pulled out. The axle's still on here. I didn't take it off there, but I've got it pulled out of the differential. So what I'm thinking is leave that all like that, and then drop this exhaust, get the drive shaft and all that figured out, and then the rest of this, start taking it loose and it should just pop off there, I'm hoping. But I can pull this out more. That right there, I can pull that out. I'm just letting it sit in there. So yeah, drop the exhaust and then we'll work on the drive shaft. All right, so I've got the exhaust dropped. The bumper's holding it up for now, so I'm going to leave it that way for now, and probably end up having to take this lower part of the bumper off. But for now, I'm letting it hang there. I've got my cover off here in the middle. So so now with that loose, I need to get the drive shaft off and then undo these mounting bolts, and we'll drop this down, and we'll see if I ended up doing any good with some of these shortcuts. So stay tuned for, I guess you could say this is part one, and I'll do a part two, and I'll jump back on this tomorrow, and then, but yeah. See if we can get that in tomorrow. Or at least get this out. I should just focus on getting this out. Then we can maybe look at trying to get that one in. So so yeah, stay tuned. Maybe I'm doing something that would help others to get this done without spending a week on it. Alright, well, back out here early Tuesday morning, cold. I'm gonna let it warm up a little more before I get started, but before I did that, I was letting the dogs out and thought, let's redo this jack point. So I've got it set up to where I feel a lot more comfortable with it. And today we're gonna see if we can get this swapped out. We're gonna have the drive shaft to do. Once I get the drive shaft, it's a matter of just removing the main bolts for the rear diff. And I may have to drop this exhaust some more, but it's definitely coming out today. So stay tuned. Okay, so I've got the drive shaft bolts off. Which wasn't too bad, using an impact, and you got to put it in neutral, you know, so you can get to each one easier. But got that, and then I've got these bolts here loose. Those were not very tight at all. So once I get these off, I got the two main mounting bolts to do. So but once I get these two started, I'll get the jack here, and then we'll that axle's already popped out, but I'm hoping to take and just pop this loose that way, or to come off the drive shaft and this axle, and then keep all this assembly in on this one side, and see how much time that saves me. So we'll get these three bolts here, and then that one and that one there. Like I said, I got the drive shaft already done, and then we'll see how this pops out. I'll see if I can try to film the removal process after I get these bolts off. Okay, so I've got the mounting bolts out, and what I did is when I took them out of here, I put each one here because it's a good common practice to try to keep track of where each bolt comes out, because these can be different lengths. So if you can use like for example, what I have here is this used one and ready to go. I just screwed them into there, and that helps to keep from getting these bolts crossed up. It's just a good habit, because one of these days you could be that guy that screws your bolt into the bell housing and into your engine. Then you've got a whole lot of problems. So I can carry over to other jobs to just have a good good common practice to keep track of where your bolts came out. So now I've got those three. I'm going to set the jack here, and we'll get these other two bolts out. See how these bolts are quite long threaded, so it takes a little while to get these out, but I've got this one out, just about all of it out, and then we'll have this one, and then we'll see if we can get this thing jacked down. But yeah, it's time consuming, but not overly difficult. So yeah, I've never seen a bolt with the threads and then the space and threads, but that's pretty neat. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it resting there. Take this next one out. May end up having to drop the exhaust more, but this is all about getting this rear differential out of this Pontiac GXP, the Solstice GXP, trying to do it without having to remove any more than you need to. So we're almost there. All right, we're gonna see if we can drop this out. I think I've got the other bolt out long enough. We'll see. I expect this to be a struggle. Yeah, I gotta get that other bolt out some more. I should have known. Alright, we're gonna try it again. See if we can drop this thing out. Oh, I got one more bolt. Oh, I missed the bolt. Okay, so now I've got all the bolts into that. We should be able to drop it. Is that a good view? Okay. We'll drop the rear diff on the Pontiac Solstice. I still may need to take this loose over here. Get that all the way out. Yeah, I'm just going to have to pull the rest of that out, that lower ball joint, and just pull all that out of the way. So I've actually managed, without having to take all that off, pop that out. I just got underneath there and just moved the rear diff around, and I was able to pop that out. That's loose. So now I'm going to lower it, shift it that way, and then should be able to pop it out of the drive shaft. Trying to get a good view for you guys. I have to do some more prying on that. I think I've gotten a bind. There we go. There we go. Let's lower it a little bit. I get some more room to pop this out. There we go. Well, I'd rather have popped it the other way. Well, you're out of the way. Go. There you go. Now we'll move it back this way. Move it around the exhaust. Yay! And then it's out. And that's how you remove a rear diff on a 2007 Pontiac Solstice GXP. As you can see, this is all still intact. And some of this is still there. Now, obviously, if you want to try to do all the axles and everything, it's good to do all of this at once. But the point of it is, if you just wanted to do the rear diff, it's possible without removing the axles. Let's slide it out. So, there's the old one, there's the new one. Before I put that new one in, I say new one, it's used, but you know what I mean. We're going to clean, look at this, what a mess. So we're going to clean this up, clean this exhaust, and then we're going to throw this other one back in. Take these bolts, transfer them over to the old one, and then that way you can take them off the old one as you put the new one in. Yep. I think these may be all the same length, but like I said before, it's a good habit to always do this. It's a, you got bad habits, you got good habits. This is a good habit. So I cleaned off this part number tag here, and I'm showing 373, 373. Someone marked G80 there. These numbers do not match directly, so I don't know if they're the same or not. But I'm gonna go with this anyway. We're gonna see what happens. There's an 07 there. It says 08. So yeah. So now I've got the replacement setting up in there. I've got it maneuvered in. It's so what you want to do is when you go to put this back in, if you've left your axles in place, slide it into your drive shaft, jack it up, and just kind of maneuver the side part in. It kind of sticks out a little further up here. Get that part in, and then just jack it up into the place, and then put these axles in, and we'll bolt it in place. So I'm putting the passenger side in first. Pop that in place. And then you can, there you go. Slide that over. I'm going to reposition the jack. So reposition this jack, and then we'll get the driver's side axle and pop it in. It's not stupid heavy, so you can easily move this jack over and get it back underneath here. It's in place. So now we'll get the other side in. So now let's get that one in. Now this is the driver's side. Got some stuff in the way here. And there we go. Now I can go ahead and bolt this in, and then we'll pop this in place. Just like in reverse order. Then we'll see if we can jack this up and into place. So let's see if I can get my long studded bolts in. Okay, I've got this. I've got the main bolts back in place, tightened down. I've got these bolts in place. I just got to tighten them down. So I got those two main ones done. Got the drive shaft lined back up. Just got to bolt that down, and then put the driver's side assembly back together. Once I do that, we're going to drain whatever fluid is in that differential, and then we're going to add some new fluid. We're going to do an oil change today as well, but I'm not sure if I'll put it in this video. The main thing on this video was to show that the rear differential is not that bad of a job. So it's very doable right out here in the driveway. No shop. under 40 degrees out. The sun's shining. It's not a bad job. So yeah, I'm going to finish up this with the dry shaft, and then we'll be driving it sometime today, and hopefully this one's a good rear differential. It's always good to get all of them started before you tighten any one down. All these were started. So once we get these onto the drive shaft, now I'm going to use an impact, but I'm not going to tighten down with the impact. Just going to use it to cheat a little bit. Now if I can find my wrench all the way down. And then go around each one. Take the strap out of the way. Don't need it anymore. It's in my way now. And then I'll go through and tighten it up, and then we'll put on the assembly, and then hook this muffler back up. So what we have to do here is put this back in place. Once we slide this axle, which is already laying in, started into the differential. So we just may have to turn a little bit as we go in to get the splines lined up. Pop that in. Put this upper A-arm, sway bar, brakes, wheels, and then we can put this muffler back on, do the fluid, test drive. As you can see, the axle is in place. The differential's in place. Upper A-arm is in place. Just gotta tighten everything down. And then put the brakes on. When you have to do the sway bar here, you have the Allen wrench you have to use. I say Allen wrench. It's not sure why I said Allen wrench. I'm thinking of something else. That takes a small socket, and I have it over here somewhere. Here it is. So you just use these in tandem. Well, that's the wrong size. But I've lost it. Maybe it's this one. Yes. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Hey, when you're doing it like this, it's backwards than what you think. I'm going to go back and do these sway bar links at another time. But today I just wanted to go do a video on the rear diff, on how quick it can be done. Good deep voice like I hear on some channels. Yeah, buddy. There we go. Now the upper A-arm. So the Allen wrench was for the upper control arm right here. So right here you can do the you hold it there, you can use the wrench, and then once you get it started in there, sometimes it'll grab and you can just use a socket. Let's see if it's grabbed. Nope. So I'm still gonna have to use a wrench in that Allen wrench until it gets tight, and then you can go to socket. Something you don't want to forget, obviously, is to plug up your speed sensor. That's something that I'm not sure if I covered in the other video yesterday. I tried to do a part 1 yesterday and post it, but I took it back down. Just do one video. So we'll cut this and then drain that rear diff, go get some fluid, fill it up, and then go out for a test drive. And to put the brakes on, it's a Starbit Torx T45. So yeah, and then you get, don't forget the spring. Don't forget your caps. Keeps that crud out. There we go. It's all back together. Now I'll stick those on. I'm going to see if there's a special tool that's cheap enough to buy. But those suck. And I'm old. I'm almost 50. And so my hands are not like they used to be. I like using special tools that are for specific jobs more than I used to. Oh, I need to put this spring on. I just talked about that. And then we're going to drain that. And then we're going to go get the fluid. And then we'll be test driving. So when I put these rubber hangers back on, it actually went on pretty good. Because what I did is on the metal hangers, took some of this grease and put some grease on the metal hangers that are on the muffler, and just it popped on pretty good. So now we'll drain the differential, go get some fluid, put these wheels and tires on, we'll be ready to go. So I'm checking to see if there's anything in this. Let's see. One comes out. There's a little bit. It's cold out, so we're gonna let this sit and drain, but I don't see anything on it. Clean. So we'll let that drain out while I'm gone. Which I took loose the fuel plug. Take that off too. Yeah. Look kind of gray. All right. So we're back from the O'Reilly's, and there's nothing else coming out. So we're going to wipe this clean, which, as you can see, looks pretty good. And we'll fill the diff right here. I'm going to use this, and if I need a little bit more, I have an extra bottle of I need to add a little bit more, but I'm thinking this is all I need. But this is what they had at O'Reilly's. I already had this, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. Judge me, I don't know. We're going to see what happens. All right, let's fill it up. There goes this little hand pump. This bottle here wasn't a squeezable bottle like you can get for, I think, Amsoil, Valvoline. So but I've seen on forums where people use the Royal Purple. And I think this comes with an additive, but I also am going to put the additive in as well. Matter of fact, I'm going to pour it into this bottle now. It's an AC Delco. Not sure if too much additive is bad. So, but here we are. There we are. Alright. Let's do a cold start and let it warm up, and then the exhaust burns off some of that fluid where I've cleaned it, and then I'm going to put it in through the gears, and then we'll let it down and do a test drive. Battery's dead. I thought that would happen. I got a jump pack engaged. I love this car so much. It's such a pretty car. I'm really hoping this test drive goes well, because if it does, then I can focus on this back window. We'll do a video on that. I don't know what color that's supposed to be. I have no idea. Sounds good now. The sewing machine. So, let's see what it does in gear. Alright, we'll put it in reverse and drive. If that tells me anything, but everything looks good. So I'm going to put it in park, and then we're going to let it down, and then I'm going to get my scan tool out and reset the ABS, because I unplugged that speed sensor. Coolant to 120. We got the ABS. I don't have GM yet, so maybe I can reset it through here. I may not be able to. Damn. That I didn't want to. I am readiness. Damn it. Diagnostic codes. Nothing. Well, this sucks. I may have to do something different. So online I've seen where if you drive it, the light may just go away on its own. So we're gonna go with that. So here's our first test drive. A little nervous. It's always been loud. So we're going over real quick. I'm gonna take it easy though. And not get too rough with it. I'm still expecting some sound underneath here. I'm thinking maybe there's something with that drive shaft at the transmission. So somebody can comment on that. I haven't looked into that part yet. The main thing was getting this the rear differential done. So let's do this test drive. Alright, we're backing up. She's always quiet doing this part. So say I'm nervous. Oh man. much better now. Oh, it's such a good car. So, no smells. I didn't park in the best spot because there's been leaks here before, but we're going to check here and I'm going to go do some student driving with the daughter. But I think we've got us a banger. My goodness, it's fixed. Yeah, boy.